of the Debu Living Show. My name is Laura. I'm your host, and today we're here with Lawrence, the owner of Cherry Street Barbecue. Hi, Lawrence.
Hi, Laura.
How are you?
Hi, how are you? Good, thanks. Thank you.
Good, I'm good. I personally love barbecue. So
you.
I have this question. What makes your restaurant such a go-to when it becomes to a smokehouse?
I think the biggest reason why people tend to, we've been around for almost a decade now. So the fact that we've been doing barbecue in Toronto, the traditional old-fashioned, what I consider the traditional old-fashioned, the way I learned, the way I fell in love with, is the fact that we just, we cook on live fires, we just cook on wood, there's no gas, there's no electricity. There's all those things in the kitchen. We do run a standard kitchen to make all the other dishes, but the fact that we take a time-honored tradition with something that takes a lot of skill and experience to be able to produce, it's something that people have come to appreciate. And again, like I said, other places have come and gone. There's been other places, but the fact that we do it a time-honored, traditional way, people usually will spend thousands of dollars to go on a trip down south to eat what is considered like America's national dish is like traditional barbecue, wood-fired barbecue from the south. And we've been doing that for a decade in Toronto, and I'd like to think we've been doing it at a very consistent level, high level, and that's kind of like why people come to appreciate and join us there.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. And did you actually grow up in a family that likes to barbecue, or the passion came?
So I grew up in a family that loved food.
Okay.
Everything revolved around food. So Sunday dinners were a big deal. My father cooked. That's where I got a lot of the passion from. And we cared a lot about food. And growing up, because again, barbecue is the act of cooking big cuts of meat, low and slow over a long period of time over indirect heat. So the heat's over here and the cooking happens over here. Whereas you grow up, and we grew up, as a lot of us are, like I'm first generation Canadian. We're all from somewhere else. But the thing that brings it all together is that when you cook on wood, it kind of, no matter where you come from in the world, cooking on wood is something that, on live fire, brings people together, right? So
Experience.
It's an experience. So in my house, when I grew up though, barbecue meant cooking a steak or hamburgers or stuff on a grill, right? So you grow up with this idea of, people will often even call Cherry and they'll be like, do you guys do steaks? And we're like, no, we do barbecue. And they're like, well, don't you do steaks on a barbecue? I'm like, no, you do steaks on a grill. So that's hot and fast. So it's two different styles of cooking. So grilling is what you do, what we consider barbecue, a lot of people consider barbecue, is actually grilling, and we do barbecue. So we cook very large pieces of meat for a very long time until they get very soft and serviceable and enjoyable, whereas most grilling happens very quickly. So when people say barbecue, it's almost like people are still learning what the traditional style of barbecue is and what it means, as opposed to thinking that it's cooking a hamburger on a propane grill in your backyard. It's not exactly the same thing. Our stuff takes a little longer.
It does sound like a warm experience of eating and just enjoying with friends and all of that. So I believe
it's very important to who we are.
That influence a lot on you becoming such a big star when it comes to barbecue, right?
No, that's cute. Me like associating myself and being a barbecue star is not. But I come from a fundamental ideology that you just keep your head down and work hard, right? And stardom isn't something like I didn't go into barbecue being like I want people to all know who I am and I want to be like really popular and stuff like that. No, I'm driven by wanting to make the best food possible. So that passion in wanting to make really great barbecue inevitably will get, if you do it very, very well, people take notice, and in that it's very flattering and very kind and humbling. But I wouldn't say I'm a barbecue star. It's very, very, very kind thing to say, but yeah, it's not the way I view myself.
I do think that what makes it such a good experience to eat in your restaurant. Like all that environment and the working hard.
Yeah, it's the people. It's the people.
Right?
Cherry Street is built on the people that are inside the walls.
Right.
So
that's amazing.
So if the person who steers the captain of the ship needs to show a lot of passion and care and be appreciative of the people who help get them there, because I'm not sure I'm Cherry Street, but it takes an entire team. Like we have a very big team with some very, very talented people, both front of house and back of house, who care a lot who want to be part of the, making the best food possible. And that's who got us to where we are. So
Amazing. And do you actually remember the very first thing
I do.
you cooked, you smoked or barbecue?
The very first thing I ever cooked, like I remember, like specifically, was I went out and offset barbecues, like little wood burning barbecue. I bought it at a hardware store. It was on sale. Then I went and bought some wood, and then I went and bought a brisket, and I cooked this brisket, and I thought, oh boy, wow, this is going to be amazing. And then 8, 9, 10 hours later, I'm like, it's got to be done. It's got to be finished. So took it off and let it rest, like I read in all the articles, because I started doing this before you could just Google how to cook a brisket. Now you can go on YouTube and some guy will teach you. There's very good things available online now to teach you how to do it, but I was doing it before anything was available, so you just kind of had to do it from trial and error, and it was mostly error, that first one. It was absolutely the most horrific piece of barbecue I ever cooked in my life. It was inedible. It was not good. And then shortly after that, I had my first trip down to Texas. I went and I took a class in Houston, and I met a bunch of really great barbecue people, and I went on a barbecue tour in and around the Houston area. And then shortly after that, I went to learned about another class online. This was pre-Instagram, so you couldn't just DM someone and be like, hey, how do I come to your class? You had to go look people up and research them and find out who they were, and then hopefully email them, and they emailed you back, and they would be like, oh, I'm doing a class X, Y, and Z weekend. You're like, okay, I'm on my way, so I'll do it. And then you just wire transfer people money and hoping that the person there would be a class when you showed up. So I did a lot of that. Traveled through the South, cooked in most barbecue states. Still have a lot of friends down there who gonna get back to visiting too, because with what Cherry went through in terms of COVID and construction, the really intense construction house, it kept me. I could not leave the restaurant and feel good about what would happen while I was away, because there's just so many variables in the last 4 years. So
Yeah.
now I'm gonna get back to visiting my friends. So
I see. And those are really value experiences, right?
it's those experiences are what are the foundation of Cherry Street.
Right. And this is such a hard industry, I believe, restaurants, barbecue. So for you, what is the biggest challenge of owning a restaurant like the Smokehouse?
I think the single biggest challenge with specifically a barbecue restaurant is consistency, because in most restaurants, most dishes are made. You order it, they make it for you. Like you order a pasta dish, they drop the pasta in the water, they cut the sauce warming up. It's there. They can set a timer. Pasta boils for 8 minutes. Pull it out, and you know what I mean. Like it's a lot. There's a lot less opportunity for things to go wrong in the preparation of it. With barbecue, you're cooking, again, like I said, these large cuts of meat over a very long period of time. Mm-hmm. It takes 3, 4, maybe 5 people, between the person who slices it and puts it on your plate to the person who butchered it when it first arrived and prepped it for cooking. It's 20, 30 hours have passed, and 5 different people have affected the final outcome. So being able to mitigate all of those opportunities for something to go wrong between the improper seasoning, improper cooking, not butchering it properly, someone slicing the meat could slice it incorrectly. After all of this hard work, you could slice something incorrectly and deliver a less than great experience to the guest. And when the guest sits down, I'd say 90% of the time, they don't really know how much work has gone into it. They're just like, yeah, you just throw it on the barbecue and it just cooks itself, and then you just serve it. And when people come in, again, like if we run out of something, I'm like, we'll have it again tomorrow. Like we cook. It's like we're in a business. We cook as much food as we possibly can. So when you come in at 9 o'clock and I've run out of certain things, that's literally the way the business is. That's how the business is built. I know it seems weird to people, but it's like we cook fresh all of this stuff every day in the hopes that people come and eat it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So so with the barbecue restaurant and doing it a very traditional way, you have to take things into consideration, like, the biggest thing about is consistency, I'd say, with running a barbecue restaurant. Like if you come in and have the food one day and then you come back a week later and it's not the same, you say it's dry, it's not as moist, it's not as delicious, or something's off. There's a lot of factors that come into play in being consistent. So being consistent for a barbecue restaurant is probably the most important or the most difficult thing to maintain and keep for people's experience across the board.
That's such a great answer. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Also, this is not only a hard industry, but it's also really competitive. What do you do to keep your menu so special compared with the other?
Yeah, I mean, keep it special and keep it in a place where people want to keep coming back and see new things. So we're always pushing as much as we can. Like our fundamental staple items never change. That's what got us to where we are. But introducing new side dishes and new, like a lot of it is the sides. We've introduced a lot more seasonality to our sides. So our sides will rotate all year round. Like we have a broccoli salad and a sweet potato salad and like a corn elote. It's almost like a street corn, but in a salad form. These are all things that we're doing in the summer because it makes sense. And in the winter, we usually go to like more heartier, richer, kind of warm sides to complement the barbecue and the menu. So sides are always a big part of us trying to bring in fresh new ideas, and then cooking new proteins, finding different cuts of meat that work for barbecue that people can enjoy, and just different cuts, like whether it's cheeks or we make different cuts of meat, beef meat into pastrami's, and so all these things that we try to give people, because we want our regulars to keep coming back and being regulars, and we want to offer them different stuff. Like we're usually running 3 different types of sausage, but there's usually 10 different types of sausage in the summer. So there'll always be one that's always there, like our main one, but then we always rotate two or 3 different ones all the time, so that people can come back and have something different.
See, that's amazing. Thank you. And people love your food so much. They love your barbecue restaurant. There is any further plans when it becomes to Cherry Street Barbecue?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, I wouldn't count out another location probably on the other side of town. Had either west or north. North York could use a good barbecue place. The problem is that just where we are now is very unique in that is as romantic as it sounds to burn the wood and cook the barbecue the way we cook it. I can't really be on a main street in Toronto. Like I might be able to do it like up here somewhere, but you have to be in an area where it's a little bit, like if I was next door to a condo, the condo might get upset because they're like, oh, they're always burning wood, but it smells amazing. I'm like, someone's gonna have a problem with it. Yeah. So I can't really be right in the heart of it because we cook with these fires. There's different things you could do from from an extraction point of view in terms of cutting down the amount of scent that goes around. I mean, I don't know anyone who doesn't like the smell of a wood fire burning. Like it's kind of like, it's so nice. It's like Christmas, but all year long. So yeah, so where we open would need to be I loved where we are now down on Cherry Street because we're 10 minutes to downtown Toronto, but it feels like we're in the middle of nowhere. So it's like this kind of like great balance. And every barbecue restaurant that I idolized or I mentored at or had people who I care very much, who I hold in high esteem how they do things, all of their barbecue restaurants, even no matter where they are in the States, they're all a little bit of a destination, right? So they're not. Yeah. None of them are in like. Some of them have now like downtown locations, but inevitably the places that I've grew to love, enjoy, and befriend and learn from all have their locations outside of the downtown area, very close by, but not in the center. Yeah. So because of the way we cook.
That does make sense, and no matter what, I feel like people will go to you.
Yeah, well, it's like I said, it's been 10 years, and 4 of them were very difficult with COVID and construction, but we weathered the storm, and we're very fortunate to be where we are, and a lot of people appreciate what we do. So
all drive hours.
Yeah, it's true. It's a long time to make our food.
Thank you so much for
My pleasure.
joining us. And there is anything else you would like to share with the audience?
No, other than the fact that we're still, it's summer. It's going to be a very exciting summer. We brought back live music this year. So we have live music on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So it's really, really great. We have some wonderful artists. All of that stuff is posted on our socials to find out who's playing when. And it's just, the park is opening, the new park that is set to open July 18th. That's exciting too. So there's going to be a lot of people coming to the area just to see that. So just the increase in traffic to the area and therefore exposure back to us again is going to be tremendous. So we're very fortunate to be in the situation that we're in now. So
amazing. Thank you, Lawrence.
Okay.
And
thanks for that.
Okay. And see you on the next episode of Debu Living Show.